Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. Welcome to the Vee Academy. My name is Crumbreon, Professor Crumbreon, if you would. And today we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful game that we played on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, and be happy to get your reactions to it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to follow me and watch games in real time, check me out on twitch.tv/Crumbreon. For now, let's go check out the game. Thanks for watching.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to yet another video. Welcome to the Vee Munity. My name is Crumbreon. Good to see you all back once again. We are freshly out of Milwaukee Regionals. We're seeing a brand new format with Mega Evolution hit the grand stage. And we're going to be taking a look at one of the decks actually played in Milwaukee, the one that ended up winning Milwaukee, because it's a deck that we've been playing a lot. We've been playing a ton of Charizard Pidgeot in live. We've been working on this kind of stuff for quite some time now, so we're taking a look into the Charizard Pidgeot. We've rebuilt it here. Our list was only a couple different cards from the list that won Milwaukee, so we were on the right track here. And we're going to be playing up against another one of the tough matchups here. This is the Mega Kangaskhan Absol list that Tord made popular recently. So we're going to be navigating this. This was actually a very tough matchup. It has been a matchup that we have not actually lost any matches to using Charizard against so far. So let's take a look here through this, and we'll go through this as we go along here. So pretty standard start here for the Mega Absol list here. They're going to be bringing in Kangaskhan, use Tatsugiri. They get the Kangaskhan to draw a couple of cards, retreat into Tatsugiri for free with a Latias there. They're going to set themselves up. We just start out with a Shaymin on this one. Unfortunately, only Shaymin to start the game. So it was not anything great to write home about on this start. We do have Buddy Poffin. We do draw into Buddy Poffin. We have Iono, and we have Mist Energy that we want to keep for later, just in case. Because if they do go into Absol, the Mist Energy in this list will stop the Absol from automatically knocking something out, which is great for us. But this list also runs Cornerstone Ogerpon, so that's what we're going to be facing off against very heavily in this one. And it's a very unique way that we have to go about taking care of it here. So we're going to put down the Town Store. This awesome little addition here. I do agree with Jackson Ford that Town Store does allow you to just go ahead and grab the TM Evo out of the deck without having to use Arvin. It allows us to use Iono on this opening turn. So very solid opening turn here for us right now. We have Charmander. We have Pidgeot in hand, provided that we have a Pidgeot and a Charmeleon or in the deck. We're going to be a very good turnout from this TM evolution here. Dusknoir is on the bench as well. So the opposing deck does run Psyduck as well. So Charizard does have Klefki in the list to allow you to use the Dusknoir and Dusclops if needed. We have the Jet Energies to facilitate that in a pinch as well. So lots of very good pivot options here. If they try to Yveltal corner us, we have the Jet Energy to get around that. We have lots of different options in this matchup. So plenty of different answers on both sides for both of these decks. So they get to go ahead and utilize our own Town Store as well here. Shaymin not really going to be doing a whole lot in this matchup. There's no Pokemon in the opposition here that are going to be attacking the bench. So Tatsugiri looking for something. They have to, the Pokegear ends up not grabbing anything substantial here for them. They're going to go for the TM Turbo Energize. So they get the Lily's Determination, get a brand new hand off of this as well here. So they're going to go ahead and just power up their board here. And we're not going to see Cornerstone until right this moment here. So they're going to be powering up the Cornerstone Ogerpon, obviously the TM Turbo Energize. Going to be able to allow them to grab 2 energy out of basic energy out of the deck. It's going to be a fighting and another dark energy going onto that Cornerstone. And Cornerstone's going to cause a little bit of trouble for us because the Charizard list does not have very many attackers that do not have abilities. So Cornerstone Ogerpon EX allows the Cornerstone to block any damage from a Pokemon that has an ability. So Pidgeot, Shaymin, Dusclops, Dusknoir, Charizard, the 90 HP Charmeleon. All of those have abilities, and all of those get blocked by Cornerstone Ogerpon. So how are we going to be factoring around this? We have to think about this a few steps ahead here. We could do a couple of different things, right? We could save the maximum belt, put this on something like Chi-Yu. Obviously, Chi-Yu is in this list. But then we have to figure out, okay, well, if we put the maximum belt on Chi-Yu to take out Cornerstone, how are we going to be hitting Mega Kangaskhan without them being down to a single prize card, right? So the maximum belt here is very, very strong on Charizard, because it allows Charizard to swing for a lot more damage than it normally does. Right now they're at 6 prizes. We're going to be targeting the Latias here to target their free retreat cost. This is going to be an easy way for them to pivot back and forth. So if we take out Latias, they're going to have to force resources to bring Latias back in. Also have Latias as a point that we can just take out with Charizard at any point. So without Latias, it's going to make it a bit more difficult for them to be mobile. They're going to have to sacrifice mobility for safety, because if they put down another Latias, that's an easy boss target for us to take another 2 prizes. They want to stick with the Ogerpon. They want to make it really difficult for us to take KOs here. So we're not able to hit over 300 right now as it is currently. We have to work with Duskull and the Dusknoir line to get our opponents taking prizes while we're working on this as well here. Because if we right now boss into Charizard and swing into Charizard, swing with Charizard into Mega Kangaskhan, they can simply penny up the Mega Kangaskhan, put it right back down. They can make it as big as possible. So right here, we're going to see a counter catcher coming out of the Arven to bring up Pidgeot for 140. They're going to be attacking our Pidgeot here. It's a very good way to take Charizard out at the knees here. Losing Pidgeot for Charizard is pretty brutal, because it does just allow you to go into your deck every single turn, pick out a card that you want. So we're going to prepare for this by putting down Chi-Yu. So if they do not attack our Chi-Yu this turn, and they attack the Pidgeot, then we at least get to use Mega Fire Envy the following turn. If they do attack the Chi-Yu, then we can just Super Rod the Chi-Yu back in and get the Chi-Yu back on the bench as well. So, and have Pidgeot back on the bench safely. So a few different options we could do here. It is a bit risky for us to have the Chi-Yu vulnerable on the bench, because this is the only Pokemon in our deck list right now that can hit into a Cornerstone Ogerpon. So what our options here are right now is, if they knock out any Pokemon, Chi-Yu will be swinging for a massive 140 damage. That paired up with a Dusknoir is 270 damage that we can put onto Cornerstone Ogerpon in an instant, like right away. But we need a lot of pieces to get there, and we can't get there without a Pidgeot, right? We can't easily get there without a Pidgeot, so we may have to piece it together in a couple of turns. But we're going to see how our opponent faces off against this. So they just raw have boss's orders. They pull up the Pidgeot. They demolish the Pidgeot. So now we're not able to grab the rare candy out of the deck to just easily put the Dusknoir down and easily have a response here on this turn. So we have a couple of different options of what we could do, but that would run risk of losing the Mega Fire Envy attack here. So we kind of put caution to the wind. We go for Lily's Determination here. We get the rare candy, but we don't have the Dusknoir anymore, which is very unfortunate for us. So we just have to put another Pidgey down here. So we're going to be threatening another Pidgeot here. So maybe our opponent sees that this is a bigger threat for them, goes after the Pidgey. Maybe they swing into the Chi-Yu. Either way here, we're keeping damage off of Charizard. We're potentially keeping our Duskull here as well, because if they boss up and knock out Duskull, Chi-Yu survives. Mega Fire Envy takes a knockout on Ogerpon. So we're putting ourselves in a very good position to keep the important pieces to our board intact right now. We have Arven, which means Arven grabs this Ultra Ball to get the Dusknoir for the following turn. But here's a bit of a kink in our plan right now. Monkey Dory's hitting the field. They have the Dark Energy in hand. They're going to push 30 damage off of this Ogerpon. So now our math is 20 damage short. If we hit with the Dusknoir next turn onto the Cornerstone Ogerpon, we're missing this KO by 20 damage. This is very bad at this point. We're in a bit of a bind now. So we could go in a couple of different directions. We could grab Pidgeot, chance into something here, because we could Arven Ultra Ball Pidgeot, but then we run into another risk here. But we top deck Dusknoir, we rare candy into Dusknoir. We have 20 damage available to us on the board right now in the form of Pidgeot using Gust. So this is our best option to take this big threat, this big roadblock out of commission right now. So we hit it, 130 damage. Boom, they take 1 prize card. And then we put up Pidgey, we attack with Pidgey, we're gonna Iono them down to 2 cards, and hopefully this sticks long enough for us to survive. We do have another rare candy here. We're going to go ahead and attack with the Pidgey for 20 big damage. Pidgey avenges its brother, knocks out the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Massive. Now, it's a very low percentage chance for our opponent to miss a KO here. We do pull Briar off of prizes, but if they miss a KO on this turn, which I doubt, it's a very low chance for them to do. If they miss a KO, we actually do have a Briar play here. If they try and put up a single prizer, don't take a knockout this turn, then we just go ahead and knock out the single prize Pokemon with Briar for 2 prizes for game. However, we're about to see our opponent do everything that they can here to try and take a boss's orders out of their deck. They want to be hitting the high roll coin flips on Charizard to knock out Charizard, but we're going to see why Charizard is such a powerful card to have into this matchup, and the reason why we put Maximum Belt on Charizard and not on Chi-Yu to start this game. So we get Ionoed here down to 2. Not really anything that can come out of it for us anyways here. We're just hoping that they don't get to boss us. They don't get to boss us because we're on even prizing. They Ionoed. We keep our hand. We keep our Pokemon the way that they are here. We're going to be swinging naturally with Charizard for 330 damage, and our opponent instantly concedes. Now, if it was not that situation, if our opponent did not concede there, if our opponent played Bravery Charm and they played Lively Stadium, they get their HP up to 380 damage. Knocking out Pidgey in that scenario means that Charizard is swinging for 330 because they're down to 1 prize, plus 50 for the Maximum Belt, plus, and all of that together, plus is 380 damage, the exact number that the maximum HP potential in this Absol deck can run. That is exactly why Maximum Belt's a perfect addition for Charizard into this matchup, and exactly why I did not put it on Chi-Yu to start out. So it is probably one of the toughest things that we had to go through, considering that they did get Monkey Dory down, they did mess up our math, and we still found a knockout with Pidgey. We managed to make half of this game viable without Pidgeot as well. Fantastic stuff. Love to see this, especially into a deck that's been red hot right now. Multiple appearances in a top 8 at Milwaukee. Charizard, Pidgeot obviously toppling all of the opposition during Milwaukee. Jackson Ford on his way to winning the Milwaukee championship there. Faced against 3 of these decks and beat all 3 of them on the way to that top finals there. So plenty of options for Charizard with the Jet Energies to get around the retreat locks. Plenty of options with Charizard to get that Klefki in there to block the Psyduck, so you can use your Pokemon like Dusknoir. You can block Monkey Dories and things like that with the Klefki as well if it comes down to it. So Shaymin protecting the bench for non-Rulebox Pokemon. Lots of great options for Charizard. An excellent play. If you want the deck list, I'm going to include it in the description below as well. Fantastic stuff. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all of you. If you enjoy this kind of content, I know people are enjoying the shorter form content. I'm going to try to upload more of that. Be sure to like and subscribe the video. Certainly helps me out. And we will see you all in the next video.